The latest evil TERF demand is that women must show their passports in order to enter a toilet, in order to prove that they are not transgender. Go on, get your ID out to prove you don't have a willy. According to Labour MP Dame Angela Eagle, this is what gender-critical feminists are demanding, except no, it isn't.
I don't think anybody would believe this story.
Nobody's advocating for this. No gender-critical feminist is asking for this. Name one, I dare you. It's a complete straw man. Why is it that women are being gaslit over asking for basic privacy and decency? It's an absolute joke. No one is advocating for passports to be shown in toilets. That's ridiculous.
What the hell are you talking about?
And you know why it's not required? Because it's pretty much common sense what a woman, aka adult human female, looks like. As much as Dylan Mulvaney tries to hide her stubble, no one is convinced that he's an adult human female. We do need to protect women's only spaces, but no, that doesn't require having a security guard at every toilet. Nobody's asking for that. It's a straw man. But these safeguards are put in place to make sure women feel protected, to feel safe in their spaces. Oftentimes spaces where women are at the most vulnerable, like prisons, like changing rooms, like domestic violence shelters. But they can't argue against common sense because it makes them realise that they're the bad guys in this situation. So they try and push that to the side and make up this complete lie about what gender-critical women and advocates are asking for. Angela Eagle went on to say, while this may affect a small number of people, the actual effect is that loads of non-gender conforming women will effectively being policed in their use of public facilities. Translation, we're willing to sacrifice the privacy and safety of women in order to appeal to the trans agenda of the woke mob. You know what I ask you, Angela Eagle? How many women does it take to have to suffer to pander to the feelings of men who believe they're women? How many is enough for it to be a valid issue? Isn't one too many? And even so, isn't the fact that transgenderism is such a pressing issue in British politics it's all we seem to talk about, isn't that an indicator that this is something women actually do care about and something that affects so many women? Or how about the fact that the Let Women Speak protests are so popular? Or key figures like Helen Joyce or Kathleen Stock, they're so popular. Isn't that an indicator that this is something women actually do care about and feel concerned about? She also made this very high IQ, very genius, smart comment of, to what extent does freedom of speech even allow people to question the existence of other human beings? What does that even mean? Yes, you should have the freedom of speech to say that a woman is an adult human female, and if you are not an adult human female, you shouldn't be allowed in women's spaces. You should have the freedom of speech to say that. And when I say trans people do not exist, my grievance is with the trans part, not the people. I am fully aware that they are still people and should be treated like people. Trust me. I simply disagree with the fact that they are born in the wrong body. I think that's a very harmful thing to push. As much as trans ideologues cry and try and convince us that there isn't, there is a difference between men and women. This is why we have single-sex spaces to begin with. Obviously, we are not saying that all trans women want to go into women's spaces for malicious reasons. Obviously not. However, there needs to be measures put in place, there needs to be rules that are respected. It's not demonising trans women to say that they're not allowed in women's only spaces. The same way it's not demonising men for saying they're not allowed in women's only spaces. These safeguards exist for a reason, and the safety and privacy of women should not come at the expense of the feelings of men who identify as women.
Have you got what it takes to be a reasoned presenter? Well, send us a short clip of yourself to join@reasoned.uk and we might be seeing you on this very channel very soon indeed.